Hey, I've been lucky so far with the rain on this Pacific Northwest journey, but I can feel it coming, and that means it's time to start heading south. So today I'm starting the next leg of my journey, and I am calling it From Rain to Red Rock. Stay tuned. Good morning, and welcome back to Miles to Myself. I'm Michelle. Thanks for tuning in, and I want to talk to you a little bit about this first stretch of my journey. As I think about it, I have been on the road. I left July 11th. It feels like I've been on the road for a lot longer, but it is only the end of September as I film this. So July 11th, August 11th, October 11th will be 3 months. I'm not even at 3 months yet. Amazing. But this first stretch of my trip after I left California, I had a part-time job where I was working at our ranch in Napa, California, and I wanted to head to the Pacific Northwest. My goal was to be at the most northwestern tip of the contiguous United States, and I accomplished that. So it's all about being on the coast, misty mornings, thick green forests. And I have camped in some incredible places this last week. HOH Oxbow was a wonderful place. I did a short on that. Sharpie sat in the front seat and he just didn't really care about it until we got to the time when it was time to go to bed. And then he was like, "Oh, this place is great." But we camped right on the river. It was wonderful. Got the last spot out of 8 campsites. Went to Cape Flattery, and that is the most northwestern point of the contiguous United States. We had a nice hike. We got to stay at the Macaw Reservation. I learned a little bit about their culture at the museum. It was fantastic. My biggest challenge so far has been trying to balance nice sites with internet connectivity. So if I find a beautiful campground site, it's probably covered with a lot of trees, and that's what happened at Ho Oxbow. I found this beautiful site. I couldn't post any videos because I had no internet. My Starlink has been working really well in places that have a lot of tree cover, and for whatever reason, there just wasn't enough satellite connectivity in Ho Oxbow. So I have been aware of that, trying to maneuver off-grid sites. So today we are at this, we're leaving this campsite that I found on a Forest Service road. There are better sites than this one, but no internet connection. So this site is not so pretty, but it does have internet connection. But everything that I have experienced this last week, I wouldn't trade it. Not for $1 million. Well, maybe $1 million. So now it's time for something new, and I am heading south. Soon I will be in drier climates, under wide open skies, surrounded by those red rock landscapes that are going to feel like another world compared to the forests here in the Pacific Northwest. You know, it's funny, this area reminds me so much of where I come from, because the camping in upstate New York, the Adirondack Park, is just like it is here. It is amazing. I don't feel like I'm in another part of the country when I'm here. So heading down south is going to feel very foreign to me because the landscape is so different. And that's why I started to figure out, I'm going to call this part of my journey From Rain to Red Rock. You know, I said in the beginning that it's only been a couple of months that I've been on the road. October 11th will mark 3 months, but I have learned so much. I've learned how to adapt. I've learned that I can probably go 2 days off grid and, you know, go 1 day on grid and do campsites in between. Dispersed sites. I've been getting better at finding dispersed sites. Like I said, it's kind of a trade-off, but I am reading a lot of reviews and looking for dispersed sites that have reviews, so I know what I'm getting into before I go there. And I've been moving forward even when it's been hard. And I've really been learning to savor the freedom of this life. And so heading towards the desert feels like the perfect next step. And if you've been following along, I hope you continue to follow along and join me on my next leg of my journey from rain to red rock. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.